I'm down with whatever.
Right on, baby. All right, here we go. I'm gonna label this. I'm gonna put
Yeah.
it so it's ready to go. I love how like I was suggested to be your Facebook friend, and then I reached out, and it's like, he no room.
But don't worry, I will fix that. Let me know what you're about to go live, so I'm gonna share the video.
Yeah, dude. About to go live.
Go ahead and
Uh,
then do your intro to get people to watch or whatever, and then we'll while you're doing that, I'll do a video. You know what? You can even intro or whatever, and I'll pop up. There you go.
intro, intro.
Whatever, whatever you're gonna do. Hey, everybody. I don't know how you do your intro.
I go, dude, come on camera. Where are you? We're
Oh,
live. That's what I go. I go, all right, man. Pick a. This is my big intro, BJ. All
oh, go ahead.
right, pick a number. 1 to 27.
Uh, let's go with lucky number 7.
All
Lucky number
right.
7, Jay.
As you could tell, very professional intro to the show, buddy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Oh, this comes from Stephanie Ray, and the suggestion, my friend, is anchovies.
Anchovies.
Thanks,
You know,
Stephanie.
so Jay, my friend Mike got married 2 years ago, and he asked me to be his officiant in his wedding. And of course, I was like, absolutely, I'll do that. I love to, help my friends out, whatever, and officiate weddings. And he, a fellow improviser, said, "Hey, listen, I'd like you to land, and my parents are going to pick you up at the airport." I'd never met his parents before. So his dad, who's like this Sicilian guy, picks me up at the airport with his mom, who I could barely understand. And we go to, he says, "Are you hungry?" And of course I'm hungry. I'm a Midwest boy. I mean, I'm starving all the time. So we go to get something to eat. We order pizza at this nice Italian restaurant. And he goes, "We want the anchovies on." And I went, "Ugh, I never had anchovies before." Um, so I'm starting to eat it. He goes, "How is it?" And I said, it's great, Mr. Gerdwagen. It's great. It's wonderful, actually, as a matter of fact. I was completely lying. And when I saw my buddy, he goes, "Let me guess. My dad took you to get pizza and made you eat anchovies." He goes, "He does it to my friends all the time."
Wait, is that Mike Gerdwagen?
You know, Mike. Yeah.
Wait, so is that like a rite of passage then to you have to eat the pizza with his dad?
I suppose so, because that is apparently what he does to all of his friends. And his friends have also said that to Mike. And had I known that, I probably would have been like, I'm cool with the anchovies, but I didn't want to disrespect.
No, I love it. I think I hate not I think I know I hate mushrooms. Like I just
Yeah.
do not. I there's nothing worse to me than like mushrooms on a pizza. Like mushrooms to me are completely disgusting. I don't want anything to do with them. My brother, whose name is also Mike, he hates mushrooms as well. And when he met his now wife's parents for the first time, which I mean, it's got to be 30 years ago, maybe. They made spaghetti with mushrooms in it in the sauce. He
Yeah.
picked the mushrooms off, set them to the side. He ate the spaghetti, and then he shoveled the mushroom. He didn't want to be impolite, so he ate the mushrooms as the last part of his meal. And he hated mushrooms, and he just shoveled them in his mouth because he's a good guy.
It is the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do. Hey,
Yeah.
Marty. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go talk to. I'm gonna go talk to Mike over at. I'm gonna go talk to Mike real quick. I'm gonna go
Okay.
talk to
Should
Mike.
I wait? Should I stay here, or do you want me to go with you?
Well, you know how he is. You know how Mike gets, right? I mean, if I bring somebody that he doesn't know,
Yeah. I'll stay here. I'll stay here. I'll look at. I mean, there's great artwork. I'll look at the artwork on the walls.
you know, okay, you know what? You want to come with me? I can already tell that you're just.
I mean, hey, I do want to go with, but I
Yeah.
don't want to overstep my bounds. I know Mike's very particular with the people you bring over and introduce. So if you feel comfortable, bring me over. Take a moment, think about it. I mean, the art is amazing. I'm going to look at the artwork here on the walls, and if you want to go, go. In fact,
Yeah.
I'll close my eyes. I'll
You
close
know,
my eyes. If you're gone when I open my eyes, I'll take that as a sign that I'm not supposed to go meet Mike. Okay?
though, having you around here in the lobby, just looking around at the artwork, it's kind of weird. I should probably just go ahead and introduce you to Mike. I just want to make sure that you're a good guy.
All right, let me close my eyes. I'm gonna open them, so I'll give you a couple seconds if you want. Oh wait, did you? Oh wait, Gary.
Oh, you thought I was gonna. Gary's not gonna leave you. I'm not gonna leave you, but I also gotta be careful.
That was like a half walk away.
I wanted to see if you would really keep your eyes closed.
Okay, I will. I'm going to do it for real this time. I'll give you a little more time if you want to go, but if not, I'm just going to sit here with my eyes closed. When I open my eyes, if you're not there, I'll take it as a sign that I just stay here and look at the artwork. If you're here, then I'll take it as a sign you want me to meet Mike. Okay, cool.
Oh no, I didn't leave. Leave.
You just left.
No, Gary's not going to leave. I just ducked down. I was out of your eye line. Listen, the thing is, I like it over there in accounting. It's not that it's bad over here with you in this office, but it's not the same as over there in accounting. And Mike's a good guy, and I know that you're a good guy. It's just if I have too many good guys around me, then I don't feel special hanging out with them. Just like I don't feel the same hanging out with just you.
Wait, come on, you got to hang out. Risk assessment is the place to be, Gary. Come on, we're partiers here. We're accountants. They're great, but they're not risk assessors. This is the party place.
All right, you know what? Come on over. Let me introduce you to him. Let me introduce you. Hey, Mike. Come on over here, Mike. Come on over here, Mike. Who's that? Oh, come on. You know who he is. You know who he is. We work next door together.
Mike.
Yeah. How you know my name?
Well, he was saying Mike. Gary was saying Mike real loud, so I knew you were Mike. So I know your name through Gary's sheer volume of his voice.
You work here too?
Yeah. I'm in risk assessment. Not as cool as accounting. I'll be honest with you. Like accounting is like big fish, and then we're just little fish in the pond. But I'm really enjoying it here. I really enjoy it here.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. You're a good guy. Just figured you'd want to hang out with two risk assessment guys. Two of us. Two of you.
Yeah, we are party animals, Mike. We are party animals.
Well, what? Who is that next to you? Who's that? I don't know if I want another person. Who's that?
Don.
Oh, hey, Don. Hey, yeah, hey, that's Don. That's Don.
It's my supervisor, also a cousin. Strange enough, Don's how I got the job.
Yeah. Hey. All right. So you guys, that's your family right there.
Yeah. Don's on my mother's side. We're a very close family. Working here is like working. It's like being in a family. So here, it's like family.
I like this whole family thing. You know what? I'm going to see if Hughes is a bunch of good people. So tell you what, if you guys want to come check out the controller's office, I just got one question for you, for Don, and for you, if you all want to come together.
Yeah.
You guys like pineapple on pizza? Yeah. I mean, I'm cool. I'm cool. Don, are you cool? You cool?
I'll be honest. I like anything on a pizza. I'll be honest. Don, what do you think?
Yeah. All right. Come on over. You guys are all right.
Mike, can I ask you something? Are there people who don't like pineapple on pizza?
Shelly over in accounts receivable?
Yeah, Shelly Berman.
Berman don't like it.
Really?
She don't like the pineapple.
All right, well, let's go. You know what I suggest? We go ask her.
Yeah, what?
Hey, Shelly.
Oh, hi.
Hi. First off, love your office. You really decorated it well.
Was this like a whole party here? You got all these guys behind you?
Yeah. You know my cousin Don, of course.
Yeah. And that's, I recognize Mike. He works over here in the accounting office as well.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, not a big deal, but rumor has it you don't like pineapple on pizza? How come?
Well, I'm sorry to get emotional. My dad used to run the Del Monte factory in Hawaii, and
Oh,
he had a heart attack there at the factory, and he passed away. And so I just, every time I see the pineapples, I get emotional and think of my father. Why are you excited? Why are you excited back there?
he's real sorry to hear that.
Okay. Well, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go. Just freshen up or something. That just got me kind of emotional.
Yeah, hey, listen, I want to apologize. I thought you didn't like it because you didn't like the taste. But now that
Oh
I
no.
know there's a more emotional connection to this, I just want to say, hey, I'm really sorry about your dad.
Okay. I will say that it is delicious.
Yeah.
Um, it's just, what's also delicious? Hugging my dad.
Oh, God. If this wasn't a workplace situation, I'd hug you.
You think, what's his name again?
Don.
Oh, can you ask Don to come on over here? I think that we just had him. Don, yeah, Don, come here. Don, I know that you haven't been at the company very long, but I feel that maybe you kind of connected with me for a moment. So would it be okay if we hug each other?
Scene! Dude, always a blast playing with you, man.
You too. You know what I always think about when so of course you and I
Pizza.
had the connection.
Is it?
Yes,
Is it?
pizza, of course.
Okay, cool.
I got emotional there for a minute. I don't know what happened. But
Dude, it's fine. If it's pizza,
no,
it's very emotional.
that's true. And some people take it very seriously. The Chicago to the New York to whatever this is on the
No,
West
just
Coast. I have no idea.
Chicago and then everyone else with pizza, buddy. Chicago, everyone else. What were we gonna? What were we gonna say?
Well, so every time now you and I have the connection of Bill Chott, of course, and
Yeah.
that's how I originally connected with you. But I think when I think about what is Jay's opinion of me, which I value a lot, by the way. One of my favorite memories is when you finally got to see me teaching at the Second City in Hollywood, and I was working with the Improv for Veterans program, and I almost saw I could remember your light bulb going, oh my goodness, like that enthusiasm, because I love teaching and
Yeah.
connecting with the veterans, and then this meant a lot to me because I know your history and who you are and your experience in improvisation, and of course talking through the mutual connection of Bill. But you said, Jay, to me, and I want you to remember this, you said, hey, and it wasn't for the last 2 minutes of class, you were like, you and I, let's play. And we played in front of our students, and that was so fun to me.
Oh, dude, it was the best. And watching you teach too with that passion is really amazing. And the fact also that you do have that connection with using improv to teach veterans and people from the military. Like, I mean, I don't even know where to start because you have such a great. Your history is unbelievable, but you do have the connection of improv and the military.
That's true.
And it's huge what you're doing.
Teaching it on different levels. Now, obviously, at Second City, teaching more for the performance standpoint for vets who want to do that. But there's also, of course, like every teacher, we kind of get up on our soapbox a little bit. And I do this more so teaching at the Air Force Wounded Warrior program. But I get the opportunity to be able to showcase what improv can do on a psychological well-being side, which we all know. It's not just a performance side, but teaching it in a different area. for health and healing arts and stuff. That's my heart, man. That's it right there.
Well, you enlisted in the Air Force, right?
Correct. I'm a retired Air Force medic. Yeah.
And when you taught, I remember watching you teach the class, whenever they would like start having small talk or whatever, you would just give some military command and they would just front and center come to attention.
Lock it up. Yeah.
Lock it up. And they're like, and then everyone was like, and my level 1 or whatever it was just amazed. They're like, what just happened there? Because you've got the connection of not only like teaching them in improv, but you've got the spoken language of the military too.
Yeah, I think it's that military bearing. And keep in mind that class was a little bit unique that you saw, because for the Improv for Veterans program versus regular adult program, those students had me for 3 terms in a row. So, we already had a lot of connection and growth at that point. But for me to be able to focus more on all the valuable things I learned from Bill, going back to short form and things through comedy sports and stuff, to be able to like, players, are you ready? I mean, we don't do that a lot at Second City, but I think just for the purposes of like showmanship and getting things like snapped at the top, I think it works well.
Yeah, it's huge. It's that moment of like, when comedy sports is a short form group and they bill the show as a competition. It's really not, but I mean, it's in the style of a competition, but they have that. The referee says, "Players, are you ready?" And the players go, "Yes." And then we are off to the races. And I think it brings an element of focus and, like you say, showmanship to it that we don't always have, that could be used a little bit more at times. But having that element of we're all focused in this ready together, it is a very Pavlovian thing, because when I've seen comedy sports shows and I'm watching in the audience and the ref goes, "Players, are you ready?" I'll say yes in the audience, because I'm used to responding in that way.
Of course. Hey, I haven't had the opportunity to really talk to you since you've been back in the States, which is crazy considering we've been in COVID lockdown for how long now?
Yeah, right?
But first of all, I love you to pieces. Can you tell me, and I guess you're also telling your audience who probably already knows, but I know a lot of your further history, but what were you just doing recently when you were in Copenhagen?
Oh yeah, when was it? I moved in October of 2000, was it 18? I think it was 2018, and I spent 7 months there where I was artistic director and head of training for a theater called Improv Comedy Copenhagen. And it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to run an improv training center, teach, perform, and do it in Europe, which I never thought would happen. The fact that it's spread now, it's a global thing, but also I got to go somewhere and teach people from all around the world and see, like, could my ideology actually work without having to put up my own money to figure it out, but to be like, oh, I can go into this place. And they kind of they brought me over and said, we want you to like kind of revamp the curriculum and help us with that and give us advice. And they had gotten to a point, but they knew they needed like an artistic director because they really never had one. And in fact, BJ, the teams didn't have coaches. Imagine that. The teams didn't have anybody coaching it because they hadn't been trained in coaching, and they didn't know how to. So they kind of self-coached, which blows my mind that you're able to create shows where you aren't having feedback. But in one way, I guess it's like, well, that's the way they came up and they did it and it worked for them. And the shows were really consistently good and fun. And so, yeah, I had an opportunity to go over there, and it was, I at that time, my kids were real young. They're still young, but they were pretty young. And their mom said, you know what, we'll make it work. And, she watched them. Yeah, she raised them while I was over there. So I was very lucky to be able to do that.
What would you say the top 3 takeaways from working with European and/or the folks specifically from Copenhagen, the people that came in from folks not from America, not working with American actors and/or improvisers?
One is, now improv in the States is such a thing that people use as a career stepping stone. And there it's like there isn't a focus on fame like it is in the States. Another is, I think it tended to skew a little bit older demographically than it did in the States. And you realize that comedy is pretty universal. And so when you're doing scenes where it's relationship based and emotional based, it's going to play a lot better than scenes that are like verbal based or like based on a game or something like that. Because a lot of times, your audience is English might not be their first language. Like they speak it very fluently and very well, but they might not have the same. When you go somewhere, when you go to a different country, they're not going to even sometimes understand the same references or idioms, just like you wouldn't understand the references or idioms that country has. So you start knowing, oh, here are universal truths. Here are things that are funny everywhere. I'm in this area. They're not going to get my reference to a specific thing, but they'll understand relationships. So you start playing a relationship more. You start kind of going a little bit bigger, just because you don't rely on the subtle word choices and nuances of language as much.
If you think do you think after COVID, if this really weren't happening, but once all this clears up, where are you going to be an artistic director next? Where would you like to go? If they gave you the choice, where would you like to go?
Man, I don't know. I love LA. I mean, I love being based here. I've also, it's when you've got kids, then it's like I want to be near them. So that was the biggest thing, the hardest thing being there was I saw my kids, they came over for a couple weeks during the Christmas holiday, but I saw them, 3 weeks out of 7 months. And so trying to talk to them even now virtually, like they live with their mom, and even now they don't want to be online, they don't want to be talking, and they've never really felt that was something they wanted to do. So if my kids were like magically moving where I was moving, then yeah, I would, if there was an opportunity. There just aren't that many opportunities to be an artistic director of an improv or sketch theater. But I mean, there's so many wonderful places in the world. I've been lucky to travel a whole bunch and teach at a whole bunch of different countries and different cities, and it's great that I can go a lot of places on the planet and find an improviser. But I'm really digging what's happening right now for me in LA. It's hard to think about like what could happen with COVID not the way it is now, because it's so prevalent in our lives. And I think this online improv is here to stay, man. I think there's going to be online improv from here on out. I just think it's this pandemic has forced us to make it happen, whereas we kind of talked about it before. So it's really forced us to change.
Prior to all of this, I would have been, and I had been. I mean, I think all of us as teachers have been approached like, "Hey, you want to teach online?" And I was like, I mean, if like I absolutely have to, it's not the same. But I have learned and grown so much here. Is it the same as in person? No, not fully. But can I teach, 60% of some solid normal stuff that I would normally teach, especially at the introductory level? Of course. And then of course, hitting the hard stuff, even at advanced levels that like are important. So I will say that that's a benefit.
Well, and also, what's fun is it's challenged us to come up with exercises, to come up with different ways to teach, to not like get lulled into a sense of security and walk into a class going, okay, I'm going to kind of teach the same stuff. Now it's like, okay, I can figure out new things to do, and it's leveled the playing field. So you don't have to belong to one of those brick and mortar theaters anymore. Yep. You can reach out and start teaching to people across the globe and start finding people who you never would have connected with except for this. So I find it very exciting, and it's like, is it the same? But I don't really care. To me, it's improv, and it's not, of course it's not going to be the same because it's technology based, but on the flip side, you and I don't get that much chance to play together, but now we do. Now we can call up and be like, let's play, or let's call, like, and it's something that I think in the long term is going to force this growth and innovation like nothing we've seen up to this point.
Absolutely. By the way, Morty is here, and he'd like to offer you a wonderful opportunity to be the artistic director. Mr. Suko, we've got an opportunity for you here. Now, it's not in Hilo, Hawaii, as you requested, but it is closer to your children. Would you accept in Bakersfield?
What's the salary, Morty?
Yeah, How about we talk about benefits? There's parking, and you're only 2.5 hours away from your children.
Oh, Morty, I love you. I trust you with my heart. Of course, I'll take that job.
Wonderful, wonderful. How
Uh,
about that? You don't get Hawaii, but you get Bakersfield. So.
Where, BJ, where can people find you if they want to track you as far as like watching you do stuff online, if they want to reach out to you, bring you on board as a teacher, learn from you, play with you? Like, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
Yes. Now I know that a lot of other teachers watch this, and I'm talking right now. I'm talking not only to the improv teachers and theater teachers, but speech and drama teachers, traditional high school teachers, drama teachers, both secondary and college level that are members of the Educational Theater Association. I have offered up, which is for those of you that aren't familiar, you probably remember the thespians. Hey, in high school, well, I was a thespian, and now I'm a thespian director. So, hey, I have offered up my services to any member of the Educational Theater Association to work with their students. And right when COVID hit, that's really how I grew. Not only through what we were doing with Second City, because we were learning there, but I went, Jay, I'm telling you, and I volunteered, I didn't get paid. And the truth, yeah, I am patting myself on the back because I'm proud that I said, you know what? I'm going to do at least one, if not two classes a day. I did about 73, I think was my last count, free classes for middle school and high school members of Educational Theater Association all around. I taught in China, I taught in Sri Lanka,
Wow.
Beverly Hills, and then I ended up doing a show for them remotely. So that was their first adaptation to that. So they can look me up, but at BJ Comedy is my social media, and I'm on all of those. BJ Lange, Lange, on Facebook, my personal and my public page, and I'm also on LinkedIn. But yeah, definitely, if there's any teachers out there and you're looking for inspiration, or you want to have a speaker come talk, that would be great. And to any members of the military, and obviously this is my soapbox again, any members of the military that might be watching, or someone who is a veteran now, or you're like me, you're a retiree, or you're a spouse of a veteran. Not only do I teach in the Air Force Wounded Warrior program as their applied improv comedy instructor, which I have a defense contract with now, teaching wounded, ill, and injured service members. It's amazing. But if you are a service member, or you know someone who might benefit from laughter therapy, going into a little bit of psychodrama, the healing art side of what improv can do, the applied side, which is really what my forte is, not just the performance. Obviously, Jay and I, we're actors, we're improvisers, comedians, and we have the performance aspect, but really talking about the psychological benefits, the professional development side, and that kind of stuff, listening, problem solving, thinking outside the box. That reach out to me for that, because I've got a lot of stuff going with Veterans in Media and Entertainment, vmeconnect.org, which is the largest veterans group that work in film and television and in front of and behind the camera. And I teach free workshops for them. So there you go. That's a great opportunity.
BJ, you're the hardest working man I know. I love you, man, and I cannot wait to play with you again. Thank you a million times over, man. Love you, brother.
I love you too. And tell Don that she's sorry about making it. You get it.
I'm gonna talk to him. He's crying in a closet right now.
Makes sense. Love you, buddy.
See ya. Bye.
See you later. Bye.